Ladies and gentlemen, we're excited to share the latest Salesforce innovations with you, which means we may talk about future-looking products and services. Because Salesforce is a publicly traded company, our reminder is that you should make any purchasing decisions based on the products that are commercially available.
Every once in a while, a group of people find each other and create something bigger than themselves. Values align, purpose aligns, and they all blaze a trail together. We are all trailblazers, and thanks to you, we've had our best year ever.
All right, we have some breaking news now on Salesforce.
About a new strategic partnership.
Salesforce is partnering with IBM in artificial intelligence.
We have a phenomenal relationship with Amazon, with Dell. Salesforce forming a cloud computing partnership with Google.
It was a year of unprecedented change.
We have an amazing amount of innovation.
It's the fourth industrial revolution.
We're in a new world.
We have to empower and enable all of you with all these amazing next generation technologies.
Trailhead is the key to your future. It's the way that you learn the Salesforce ecosystem.
A year of new highs.
Salesforce Tower is our tallest building ever.
We are now the fastest growing top 5 enterprise software company in the world.
The expansion of Salesforce cements our position as a global leader.
It was a year of inspiration.
A trailblazer is empowered.
Moms, women, men, anybody can accomplish anything.
Google is a trailblazer.
Girl Scouts is a trailblazer.
Brunello Cucinelli è un apripista.
You are the innovators. You are the disruptors. You are the shapers. You're shaping this future.
A year of family reunions.
Dreamforce is the world's largest software conference.
Whether it's the community, our customers, our employees, everyone is our family.
It's really cool to see everyone so excited about a tech company.
A year of doing well and doing good.
Business is the greatest platform for change. Now what can we do to make the world better?
The future is all of us.
We stand with everyone fighting for equality.
And as we each find our voice, we give others the power to do the same.
You define who you are, what you believe in, and what you go for.
Thank you for driving us.
All of our customers, all of our partners, all of our stakeholders, thank you.
Thank you for inspiring us.
We didn't do it alone. We did it together.
And as always, thank you for making us who we are today.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Elizabeth Pinkham and Suzanne DiBianca.
Good morning.
Good morning, New York. It's so great to be here. We're so excited to be in New York. I want to welcome all 12,000 of you who have registered for today's World Tour. I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Suzanne.
And we are your co-hosts for today's event, and we couldn't be more excited to be here. So again, thank you so much for coming. And it's kind of fun because Suzanne and I have had a chance to work together here at Salesforce for a little while. Just a little while. We joined almost on the same day back in early 2000.
We were teenagers.
Well, I'm just going with the story that we were the high school interns, and I'm sticking to that story.
May have been child labor, but
yes, exactly.
It's been a great ride.
It's been a great ride.
Yeah.
So it's been so much fun because I've had a lot of chance here recently, more recently in the last few years, and of course in the last few weeks because I've been spending a lot of time at our new Salesforce Tower here in New York, and I'm going to be showing you guys a little sneak peek about that and how all of you have made that possible. But I know, Suzanne, you've been doing some stuff here this week too. What have you been up to?
Yeah, it's been an incredible week. I had the opportunity to meet with some customers, which was really exciting, and I spent a day at City Hall, which is fantastic what's happening here in New York. And, you know, as we have 2 women executives here at a tech conference, yes. What was really exciting to me about New York is really trying to position itself as a leading place for women in business. And we've launched a microloan program and some credit programs, so we're proud and happy to represent women in business here in New York.
That's pretty amazing. It sounds like a whole trailblazer journey. And of course, we're all here gathered together today in the spirit of trailblazers. And we're going to bring a lot of amazing stories to you guys here today and have a lot of fun. It's going to be a day about motivation and inspiration and education and, of course, fun, because we like to sneak a lot of that in there, too. But before we get into these incredible trailblazer stories and before we start talking about the fourth industrial revolution, which we're in right now, and what that means for all of us and our businesses, I think there's something that was more important we have to do before we go any further. And what is that?
We have to do, and that's to say thank you. I mean, we are nothing really without you and without our partnership with you every day. You make our company successful, and we just have a deep amount of gratitude to everyone here for coming out today and for your partnership over so many years.
We love to say thank you. And I think I spy a group over here. I call these guys the rock stars of the Salesforce world. These are the Beyoncés and the Bonos of Salesforce. These are our MVPs. So please give a big round of appreciation. And do you guys want to stand up?
Stand up, be recognized. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for everything you do to inspire others.
Yes, and we have another community. We have many community people to support and to thank. But what we'd like to do is just take a minute and thank our military community. So if you're with Vet Force, can you please stand up and be recognized? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your service to our country.
Thank you so much for your service. So I know when I first started, I mentioned Salesforce Tower, New York, and I thought it would be fun to give you guys kind of a sneak peek, a little inside scoop. And so as I'm talking a little bit about this and why I'm talking about this, you're going to see up on the screen some footage that we just shot in the last 24 hours. And the reason we did this is we wanted to give you guys a little inside glimpse of what's going to be happening with this incredible building. This is right here in Midtown Manhattan. It's right across from Bryant Park. And the reason that we're here in Salesforce Tower, New York, is because it's due to all of you, right? This is a testimony to your success and the incredible growth and the incredible success of New York. And so this is as much your home as our home. We're very excited. We are doubling down. We're bringing more people in to help drive more customer success with all of you. And we're also doing something really special. You might see up here some big sweeping views of the New York skyline, and those are the views from our new Ohana floor, which will be opening up early next year. This is the top floor of the building. And this is not executive offices on the window. This is one big open happy floor that welcomes all and is open to all. And Ohana means family in Hawaiian, and for us, Ohana means our customers, our partners, all of you, our whole ecosystem, our employees, and our nonprofit friends. And we're actually going to make this Ohana floor open for nonprofits to use for free on weeknights and weekends for their own events. So I'm really excited about that.
Amazing.
It's going to be great.
Thank you.
But it's not just about the tower. There's so much more here in New York that we are committed to. And I know, Suzanne, you've been doing some incredible work with the schools, and maybe can you help us understand more what's going on there?
Sure, and Elizabeth and I were talking yesterday. I came from the tower last night. Somebody who is born and raised in this area, it's sort of really fun for me to, for the first time, sort of not have to explain to my dad, who's here somewhere, and all of my friends, you know, who is Salesforce? What is Salesforce? I had my daughter up on the top of the Empire State Building with a friend not long ago, and it was such a proud moment for all of us to see the Salesforce cloud up there. So I feel like we finally really arrived in New York, thanks to all of you. And the work we've been doing with the schools actually has been happening really quietly for 15 years, starting with a little school in the Bronx called the Bronx Lab School, where we've been working with them for over a decade on technology innovation. And today, we're proud to announce new partnerships with the Brooklyn Collaborative, with PS 277, and the Dual Language Middle School. So I spoke to them a little bit earlier this morning. We have some of our youngest trailblazers here. So if you're a student with the Dual Language Middle School, please stand up and be recognized. All right. Thank you. They're learning all about Salesforce, and they get the day off school, so they're really excited to be here.
Those are our newest trailblazers,
Those are
right,
newest trailblazers. That's a benefit of being a trailblazer. So Elizabeth, tell us a little bit more about some of the customers and what's happening today.
And of course, because it's all of you, the customers here in the New York area, and we've been here in New York for 15 years, growing side by side with you. And we are working, and so honored to be working with amazing brands and amazing companies, everyone from Bank of America to Girl Scouts of America, to our friends from WeWork and others who are here with us today. So again, this is our most important market. It's incredibly strategic for us, and we're so honored to be here with you, growing our success side by side. So as we talked about at the beginning, all of this, however, is in context of the world that we're living in right now. And this world is really the fourth industrial revolution. And we're in this now. And this world has been built upon the three previous waves of innovation. And this started with the steam engine, and then, of course, electricity, which allowed cities like New York to spring to life. And then in the 90s, we hit this big wave of innovation, which was all about computing. It was mainframe computing and personal computing and the internet. And now here today, we are in the fourth industrial revolution, and it is a whole new world. It is the most dramatic change we've seen to date. And that's because there are technologies that are mind-blowing, and they're here, and they're changing the way that we see and think about the world. And these technologies are everything from, of course, artificial intelligence, to robotics and nanotechnology, to these self-driving cars that are starting to take over our world. And all of this is really changing how we think about what is possible. And when we think about what's possible, we see that so many of you are already doing this. In fact, many of you now are creating these connected experiences for your customers. And you're doing that in some pretty exciting ways. So for example, Ducati motorcycles. I myself am too terrified to get on a motorcycle, but I have a friend who has one. These Ducati motorcycles are amazing because they are connected. And what they do is they will talk right back to the repair shop and the mechanics when they need to be serviced to keep everyone very safe. And then you look at an amazing company like Kone. Kone, elevators and escalators. You may not have heard of these guys, but I guarantee you, you have ridden on a Kone escalator or elevator. In fact, they move 1 billion people every day. Pretty incredible. Well, these elevators and escalators are all connected. They talk right back to Kone HQ to tell them when they need to be serviced so that they can keep these billion people a day moving smoothly. And of course, Fitbit. I mean, raise your hand if you got a Fitbit on. I think Fitbit's probably become so ubiquitous in terms of how we think about our health, how we manage everything about our own personal well-being. And that's an amazing connected device and an amazing story. You may even have like a Fitbit scale at home. There's even, this is funny, there's even connected devices for your dogs. And my own puppy has a connected device, and so I can track how much exercise she gets. So you know you're in a whole new age when your dog is connected and you think that that's normal. I mean, it's just kind of the reality that we're in right now. So all of these amazing connected stories, but it's not all rainbows and unicorns, because what we're hearing is that there are a lot of companies who feel that they don't have the capabilities to break through and to deliver these connected customer experiences in the fourth industrial revolution. In fact, it's at a crisis point. We call this a customer crisis because almost 60% of companies say that they don't have the knowledge, they can't get their arms around all this data, and what are they going to do? It's creating a divide. You don't want to be on the wrong side of this divide. You want to be on the happy side of this divide. And the good news is that you can be. The good news is that this can change. This is possible to change. And it's possible because of all of you. And because all of you as trailblazers, you are innovators. You can disrupt this technology. You can shape the future. You can change this. And Salesforce is democratizing technology to be able to do this just like we've done since 1999, so that ultimately we can all together drive more customer success in the fourth industrial revolution. But we have to have some guideposts to take this journey. And at Salesforce, we have some core values. And I think, Suzanne, these feel like they've been the same since day one, right?
That's right.
Maybe you can kind of share about how these core values have shaped our journey.
Yeah, thanks, Elizabeth. And someone was asking me the other day about our values and what they were and had they stayed steady. And you know, it's really incredible because they have stayed steady. Every single year we look at them, we sort of turn them over, and we say, are these still the right values for our company to get us where we want to go? And every year we come back to, these are the most important things. And everything starts with trust. There is just nothing more important than trust. Trust that you have in us, that we have in you, that we can sort of get behind give all of your critical business information to us on a daily basis and know that it's going to be well managed and safe. And customer success. We are just not successful if you're not successful. And so this has been a real guiding value for us just since the very beginning when we founded the company. And innovation. You know, growing together, innovating together, 3 releases a year, all the acquisitions that we've done, we continue to strive to stay ahead of the curve as it relates to innovation. And thanks to all of you for all the innovation that you do on the platform every day. And equality. We are on like a relentless pursuit for equality globally. And we just feel that it's incredibly important that every single person is treated equally. And really this all started, we think about our values and we put them into action early days through our, what we call our 1-1-1 model, which is 1% time, equity, and product. And this is something that I know a little bit about. I was the co-founder of the foundation many, many moons ago. And it's just been so incredible with all of you what we've been able to create here. And if I think about the over 2 million volunteer hours, and last time I was here in New York, with a lot of you, I walked down the West Side Highway with a whole bunch of people and these beautiful red and white balloons, really supporting the end of blood cancer and blood cancer research through LLS, who's an incredible partner of ours. And equity. It just is mind-boggling to me that $200 million in grants have gone out in the past 2 decades. A lot of investment even here in New York with many organizations. Workforce development and education is sort of our primary focus in this area. But great organizations here all around us, the Coalition for Queens, who's training up young people to have the skills that they need to really thrive in the 4th Industrial Revolution. And product. We have over 34,000 nonprofits that are using Salesforce today. And this is one of my favorite markets to come to and see customers. We have so many innovative customers here. I mean, I could go on, but Teach for America is here, the Girl Scouts is here, Planned Parenthood, Open Society Foundation, and I just love coming to New York and meeting with our nonprofit customers because they're really innovating around technology. So this is always one of my favorite moments in the keynote, but if you're representing a nonprofit organization or a higher ed institution, can you please stand up and be recognized for your work? Wow, thank you. Thanks for all the work that you do every day. And I would say to all of our corporate customers here, please help them. You know, nonprofits don't have the kind of resources that we have in corporation to really drive their business forward. So we need your help and support, which kind of leads me to this. Something that we really never anticipated when we started the company, which was all of you joining us. 5,000 companies, more than 5,000 companies in almost 100 countries have joined the Pledge 1% movement and come together to make a difference in the world. It's incredible what you've created. Over, almost $500 million in net new philanthropy dollars have gone out as a result of you joining these efforts. And I want to give sort of a special shout out to Media Math and to General Assembly who lead these efforts here in New York. And I also want to lay down a challenge to everyone here in New York. As I was looking at these numbers and I was sort of looking at regionally where the strength was, there's about 200 Pledge 1% companies here in New York. But there is 3 times that amount in Sydney, Australia. So we need you, New York, to step up. I know your generosity, and we really want you to join us. So look at pledge1%.org and get engaged and involved today. This, for me, is why I joined the company. And it's why I have stayed here, right, from a teenager to today. I truly believe that business is the greatest platform for change. And especially if I think and I look about what's happening in the world right now, and I sort of begin to understand that if I look at the numbers of trust in government, the rising inequality, we can go faster. We have to go faster as a business community. We talked a little bit about public education and our commitment to public education, but every child deserves a world-class education, no matter your socioeconomic status. And equal pay. Did anybody here see 60 Minutes 2 weeks ago or so? That was incredible. And we have Cindy Robbins here, who leads our HR. Thank you so much, Cindy, for your leadership. It's shocking to me, stunning to me, really, to think that in 2008, that women and men are not paid equally. And we will continue to do what we need to do in our company to make sure that that's not the case and lead the industry in these efforts. And equal rights. Again, it's critical that no matter your race, your religion, your sexual orientation, that you have an equal opportunity to participate in the fourth industrial revolution. And the environment. The environment is something that I'm incredibly passionate about. And I feel like it's really the macro issue of our time. And not only is it a macro issue, it has a time, a clicking time clock right next to it. So we've been thinking a lot in our company about how can we go faster, what can we do more to help combat climate change. And we were really proud to announce this year to hit net zero as a company 33 years in advance, and give all of you a carbon neutral cloud, so that every day that when you work within Salesforce, you're leaving no trace. So business is the greatest platform for change. Thank you. And the best part of all of this is that we've been able to do good and do well at the same time. So the fastest growing enterprise software company to reach over $10 billion in revenue last year has just been a phenomenal journey, really thanks to all of you. And this year we were ranked by Fortune the #1 best place to work, which was a huge honor for everyone in our company. And Forbes has rated us the most innovative place to work, Fast Company, the Human Rights Campaign. It's just been a banner year in terms of accolades for the company. And again, none of this really is possible without any of you. And just to show you what we've been able to build together, it's amazing what IDC says. #1 in CRM, both B2B and B2C. #1 in sales, #1 in service, and #1 in marketing. It's just been an incredible ride, an incredible journey, and really an honor. And if I think about all of you and I take sort of a snapshot of what happens, what you do every day on the platform, just have a look at this. And I'm not going to go over sort of every individual number, but a few things really struck me as I was looking at this. The first is over 1 billion Einstein predictions every single day on the platform, enabling you to work smarter, more intelligently with your customers. It's really just incredible. And 41 million case interactions. This is you talking with your customers every day, solving problems, gaining insight into what's possible. And it's really just provided incredible scale. And this, again, Elizabeth, is something that we never thought about when we started the company, which is the Salesforce Economy. This is you. This is all of you. This is what you've built. This is our MVPs. This is everyone working together to create what IDC says is almost $1 trillion in GDP impact by 2022, and 3.5 million new jobs through the Salesforce Economy, and 2 of which today are already in the top 10. And it's why we're so focused on working with VetForce and a whole bunch of organizations to, again, make sure that people are skilled properly for the fourth industrial revolution. And I'm going to turn it back over to Elizabeth, who's going to tell us a little bit more about what's happening every day and where this is happening on the platform.
Thanks, Suzanne. Well, it is pretty amazing. When you think about 3.3 million new jobs in just a few short years, how is all that happening? That's one of the questions we get a lot, which is how? How is this going on? And well, the answer, it's pretty simple. It's here in the customer success platform. And this is the #1 platform for both B2B and B2C. It's your platform. and it's engineered and it's architected for your success in the fourth industrial revolution. And the reason that it's so strong and powerful for you in this new age that we're in is because it is a complete platform. You're there at every single touch point of your customer's journey, whether it's awareness or the sale and the purchase or post-purchase with service. But it's also an empowered platform because we have taken Trailhead, which is the world's best learning engine and platform for continuous upskilling and continuous learning, and we've baked it right into this platform. And it's also the most intelligent platform. Suzanne mentioned with Einstein that there's 1 billion predictions happening every day. Einstein lives inside of the customer success platform, and he is feeding you constantly, continuously, all of the insights, the predictions, the answers that you need so that you can drive more customer success. And of course, it's also lightning fast, because with Lightning, you can build and deploy your apps more quickly and easily than ever before. But the last piece here is perhaps even the most important, and that is it is the most integrated platform. And that is because when we talk to all of you all around the world, all the time, we talk to all of you here in New York, integration is the top request that we hear, because you're telling us you have to get your arms around all this data from all these different sources. So we're really excited to announce that a few weeks ago, we announced our intent to acquire MuleSoft. MuleSoft is now going to bring us the newest superpower of the customer success platform, and this is Integration Cloud. This is part of your platform now. And it's a very simple vision for Integration Cloud. It's that you can connect all of your systems, all of your customers, all of your devices to all of your applications. It's a whole new world. And in fact, we have the MuleSoft team here from New York. Will you guys stand up and be recognized? Can everyone give them a big welcome into the Salesforce family? These guys are amazing examples of true integration trailblazers, so get to know them. But of course, at the heart of this platform is the single most critical ingredient, and that is the people. And you see here a picture of our good friend Zach Otero. Some of you guys may already know Zach. Some of you are about to meet Zach because he is an incredible trailblazer with an incredible story. So let's see the film of Zach's story.
I want to go to life for my kids. And they say, say money can't buy you happiness, but at a certain point it can buy you some time with your kids, and that's pretty darn close. My grandparents were survivors of the Great Depression, and it was always communicated to me to consider work a blessing. Most of my family worked labor jobs. My dad's a factory worker for his whole career, and that was always what I thought I would do. I was homeschooled my entire way through school. I never went to public school a day in my life. My mom was my teacher. I basically dropped out at 16. I started my first job the day after my 16th birthday because we wanted to make a living. I ended up in a manufacturing position, slicing deli meat, processing deli meat. The facility was in a man-made cave underground here in Missouri, but it was a job, and a lot of people were losing their jobs and losing their homes and losing everything else. I felt lucky to have a job at all. I felt lucky to be working. The thing that was the most sobering was probably having my son and realizing that I had to have more of a structured plan in place. Looks good, bud. At some point, I knew there had to be something I could learn to do to provide a better future. I have a cousin that comes from a similar background as I do, and he landed in a job as a developer for Salesforce. He said, well, you'd probably be okay to be an admin. The light bulb kind of came on, and this was all of a sudden something I could learn to do without a whole lot of risk. There were these online videos that were hands-on training, were much more technical, much more guided. At the same time, I found out that there was a whole community of people I could connect with and learn from. It was a huge weight off my shoulders, and I wasn't the only one. Once the pieces all clicked, then the bulb was on nice and bright. About 4 months later, I had an interview, the biggest interview of my life. I told my current boss, you will not interview anyone else for this position that is nearly as excited about this as I am.
He probably didn't know it at the time, but he was an easy choice. The biggest impact is his passion for Salesforce and educating others. He's really built a name for himself.
An account page in Salesforce. It was remarkable. It was from the factory floor to dealing with some of the most advanced technology in the world. I made it. I did it.
You see, it doesn't just affect his work life, it affects his home life. You know, he works hard for us. I'm just really proud of him. You know, I always have been. Sorry.
My American dream is providing for my family and having enough time to spend with them. I found it. Blazing a trail means leaving a trail that can be followed. And now I need to turn around and build a highway behind me to pass it on, to pay it forward. Trailhead is the front door of the new economy to change your life. It's all free, it's all online, it's all accessible. The jobs are out there, the security for your family can be had. I'm living proof that there's a place for anyone in the new economy. You just have to reach for it. I'm Zach Otero, and I'm a trailblazer.
It's an incredible story. I love to hear that story. And, you know, we have trailblazers that are all over the world. And we are lucky to also have one here in New York City. So we share a passion for education, you and I. And Sandy, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your story.
Sure. My name is Sandy Zellner, and I'm currently the product manager for Salesforce at Connect One Bank. But I didn't start out in technology. I started out as a classically trained musician and music educator. I was a music teacher in a public school for over 18 years. And unfortunately, in 2011, I had a traumatic brain injury, which needed brain surgery to save my life. But unfortunately, that caused me to have some delays that I just can't teach anymore. So in 2011, going through that process, I really lost my way. And luckily, I found Salesforce. I ended up volunteering at a nonprofit after my family had to relocate from Pennsylvania to New Jersey. And it was a music education nonprofit, and they used Salesforce. And they asked me, would you like to help with this? And I, at that time, had no idea what Salesforce was. But I was like, okay, I can do anything to help music education. So I volunteered and tried it out. And I fell in love with it. And I really just thought to myself, I was looking for something that I could continue. I had really gotten to the point where my entire life had changed. Unfortunately, I fell into depression and really felt broken. But through Salesforce and going through Trailhead, I went to Dreamforce and was introduced to Trailhead and just really dove in. And the Trailblazer community really reached out to me and brought me in, and I've really been able to study and learn. And now I went from a volunteer to a Salesforce admin, and now I'm the product manager for the entire Salesforce system at my company. And yeah, I just really feel like I've been able to put myself back together and have a great start for my future, and I'm loving it.
That's incredible.
Incredible story, really.
That's really incredible.
So inspirational.
That's like such a story. It's almost unbelievable. And you say you're lucky to have found us. I think we're lucky to have found you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I think you've also, have you earned over 350 badges? Do I have that right?
As of today, when I got here, I earned another one so I could get the community badge.
Car.
Now I'm at 417.
Oh my gosh.
Get out.
Oh, really?
Well, that's remarkable. That's incredible dedication and commitment. And do you have advice for people who might be starting out on their learning journey? What kind of tips can you give somebody who's beginning?
I really knew absolutely nothing about technology. And the materials are out there. If you yourself need a change, or you know someone in your life that needs a change, look at Trailhead. There's trail mixes that you can start right from the beginning. If you don't know what to do, you just go one by one. And then also, I think, reach out to the Trailblazer community, not only the user groups, Find your user group in your area and go. There are great people in the Trailblazer community that are ready and willing to not only guide you, give you the education that you need to really make yourself, really your dreams are in front of you, you can do it, but they're the people, even me, we're here. Well, if you reach out your hand, we're gonna grab you and we're gonna take you along with us and make you successful too. So
that's so cool.
It's amazing.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
I love that you're in Salesforce Blue today too, by the way.
It happens to be my favorite color.
That's pretty awesome. Well, I think I want to get a little picture with you before we leave, but we also have a little something for you.
We do, and this is sort of a special surprise, and we are so proud of you and honored and inspired by you. And there is less than 50 of these in the world. So today we want to give you a golden hoodie.
Okay, I'm gonna hold this while you put it on.
Very, very well
it looks
deserved.
good on you too.
Oh, it's a good color for you.
Oh. Less than 50 in the world? Is that what you said,
Less
Suzanne?
than 50 in the world.
Okay, this is a big deal. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Sandy.
So, Suzanne, I feel like we're on a roll right now with Trailblazer stories. Should we keep going?
But please do.